Now, with streets, businesses and homes across Nigeria filling up with a galaxy of starry lights as Christmas approaches, spare a thought for the people of Rivers State, whose dreams of a peaceful Yuletide season have been sent into a tailspin by tyrannical political forces. In fact, according to security experts, after the regions that are besieged by terrorists, insurgents and bandits, Rivers State ranks next in the prediction of what could be the most dangerous place in Nigeria over the coming days and weeks, and where political crisis is most likely to be concentrated. You'd have thought that potential nightmare would be enough to make the urgent case for a sustained ceasefire. But every day, the combatants wake up, sharpen their swords, and resume hostilities, with bellicose lawmakers on either side violating the law, and the warring factions thinking up new ways of inflicting injury on their opponents amid a massive nationwide outcry. So, stuck in the mud, oppressed by its own politicians, in battle or in between a battle of belligerent wills, is the standoff of Rivers State any closer to being resolved? Well, for more on this, let's go live to the Rivers State capital, Port Harcourt, and speak with Arise correspondent Andy Omano. Great to see you again, Andy. Let's start with those 7 commissioners in total who we understand have submitted their resignations to Governor Fubara. I mean, how has it come to this? Take us behind the headlines. What's the backstory to their decision to quit?
Well, thank you so much, Charles. What's the backstory behind their decision to quit? They attributed their quitting to personal reasons, all 7 of them, bordering on, as at yesterday, we had 5 of them. The floodgate of resignation I want to target was opened by the then Commissioner, Attorney General, I should say, Attorney General and Commissioner for Justice in the person of Professor Zacchaeus Adango. He was the one who swung open the floodgate of resignation by commissioners in Rivers yesterday. And by the close of work yesterday, another 4 of his colleagues had joined him. And this morning, we had another 2, bringing the number to 6. What is the situation here? People are beginning, Rivers residents are beginning to ask questions. What is actually going on? Why are these commissioners resigning in droves, as it were? But of course, the reason all of them had given and the need for them to go use their lives to do other things. But of course, the rumor mill is agog that it may not be unconnected with the fact that the immediate past governor of the state, that's the current FCT minister, Nyesom Wike, was very, very instrumental to so many of their appointments, and so they seem to have been caught in between the web of loyalty. To whom should their loyalty go, especially with this frosty relationship, sudden frosty relationship, I should say, between the godfather and the godson. These are some of the rumors being peddled around here, Charles, that they are leaving probably because they don't want to be caught in the web, as it were. And so the situation here is on the edge because people are beginning to ask what is going to happen now that they've exited. But there are others who feel that, should I refer to it as good riddance to bad rubbish, according to them, not me, because they did say that after all, the governor was not the one instrumental to their appointment. And so in the first place, their loyalty was not to the man who is in the saddle today, and that they've left. It will now give the man the opportunity to be able to bring in he has made to the Rivers people. Charles.
Well, that was essentially what I was going to say to you, Andy, because it seems to anybody looking in from the outside that these people are Wike loyalists. They've obviously thrown in the towel because they feel that that is what their principal would want them to do. But I was going to ask you, but you've sort of answered it, but you could expand that a bit more for us, if you will, that if these people were in fact Wike loyalists, might that not be a good thing for Governor Fubara? Because surely their departure from the cabinet clears the decks for him to appoint his own team. And you kind of touched on that, but you can expand a bit on that.
Yeah, I think that's the thinking among many, with running the idea many people are espousing here, that it would be much, much better for the young governor of Rivers State to be able to assemble a team with whom he can run. Whether they are going to sink or they are going to stay afloat, he should be able to know that he was the one who made the choice. That before now, the governor has been working in what a colleague today, Charles, referred to as political tenterhooks, that the governor have not been too free, that now that the loyalists, that is this commissioner that exited today, had thrown in the towel, it will afford him the opportunity to select his own and run with them. And the rumor mill is still a go-go, so I must confess that more resignations will come, but who is going to resign next, we really don't know. Already today, Labour addressed the media at about 5:36 this evening, and what was the position of organized labor? Organized labor, that is the NSC and the TUC, they are calling for all the political gladiators to this crisis to shield their sword, that whatever interest that they are peddling should be subsumed in the interest of the generality of the Rivers people. And Labour has made it expediently clear that there can be only one governor at a time. And the governor that Labour knows for now is Governor Siminalayi Fubara. That was the position of Labour this evening before we exited their secretariat to go put our acts together by way of filing report for the news at night, that is news night at 9. Charles.
Well, I mean, we appreciate the work that you're doing there. Very difficult conditions, but you've been consistently productive, and that is the sort of thing we like to see. But is there any news, Andy, of any meetings in which attempts have been made or are being made to bring the two warring sides together to resolve this crisis?
Absolutely, Charles. There are meetings, but many of those meetings are being held behind, should I use the expression, closed doors and not to the attention of everybody. What is the reason for that? Prior to now, several meetings have been held that did not quite yield any positive fruit. And so, whether call them opinion leaders, whether call them elders of the state, what they are trying to do now is to meet subterraneously to make sure that those meetings will be able to achieve what is expected. But one thing that is clear here, I must report quickly, is the fact that this crisis had gone beyond whether you are Ikwere, whether you are Kalabari, whether you are Ogoni. What many people are asking for is, can these political gladiators come down from their high horses, and do the bidding of the Rivers people? That is, allowing peace to reign. Charles.
And I mean, Andy, you know more about these things than we do. I mean, you feel the pulse of the people there in Rivers State because you are there with them. I mean, do you think this is going to get a lot worse than it is now? Because, I mean, we're starting to hear of people and some of the warring sides being accused of murder and other crimes and things like that.
Well, one really cannot, Charles, put a finger on how it is going to turn in the next couple of days. This afternoon, when that allegation was made, many people were taken aback that where is this one coming from? But of course, it has been made, and I think what the law enforcement agencies need to do practically or quickly is to dig deep and see the veracity of that allegation that was laid by no means a person than a member of a legislator, I should say. Yes, there is need for intervention, Charles. I must quickly add. There is need for quick intervention, whether from the federal level, whether from the state, or anywhere, to make sure that peace is brokered as quickly as possible. Because this entire week has been a week of turbulence in Rivers State. It started Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. We have the different factions to this crisis, pushing the Rivers people beyond the hook. What do I mean by that? Because whatever they do that is not in the interest of the Rivers people is trying to set the state on fire. And when the state burns, it is the ordinary Rivers people that will be mostly affected because they don't have the wherewithal to be able to exit the scene of that crisis as quickly as possible. And so that is the more reason why many people are asking that, look, can we embrace peace? Can we come together? Can we dialogue to preserve the space that is today known as Rivers State?
Yeah, that's a very good point you make there. And as those people where you are ask those questions, Andy, might this by extension, given that they're not getting the answers they're looking for, might this by extension tarnish the image of the leadership of the likes of maybe the APC, the PDP, possibly even the president, beyond the two combatants that we know of, Governor Fubara and former Governor Wike?
Well, that is very likely, Charles. The more reason why, if there is anything that needed to be done now, it must be done quickly and urgently. Remember, the president is the #1 citizen in this country, and I would not want to believe that the president would want to fold his arm and allow a strategic state like Rivers State to go up in flame. Rivers is strategic not just in the South-South region, but also to the geographical entity referred to as Nigeria because of the natural resource that is here. If Rivers goes up in flame, it will affect the entire South-South and to a very reasonable extent, this nation. Don't forget that our mainstay as a nation is crude, and crude, a good chunk, a good reserve of crude is in Rivers State here. The more reason why Mr. President need to move quickly. And for the political parties, if the legislators are moving from the PDP to the APC, it also behoves that the president should also move in as quickly as possible, not just the president, but also the leadership of both political parties, because that is the essence of why they are they are elected, yes, they are elected to oversee the affairs of these political parties. They must rein in these political gladiators. They must rein in these legislators, whether those who are still in the PDP and those who are in the APC. Very, very important. And the time for them to do that, it is now, because security is key. And since we're getting very close to the Yuletide, if this is allowed to continue, it might just snowball into what nobody can curtail. And so, everybody involved, the president, the leadership of political parties, and the elders, I mean real elders of Rivers State, not political elders, not elders that some are alleging have been thoroughly compromised, must do the needful, and they must do it as quickly as possible.